Hi everyone, end of the week, Friday, that can't be a bad thing, right? So I think some of you are really glad that it is the end of the week and you're going to have a bit of a break now. For me, it's been a really hot week, so I believe the weather's going to break next week, which I'm really glad about. All right, so let's have a look at what we did today. Okay, for maths, we focused quite a bit on ordinal numbers. Ordinal numbers are these ordinary numbers. When we talk about first, second, third, fourth, fifth, I specifically told them when we write ordinal numbers, it must look like that. Okay, so if it's first, it must have that little extra lettering on the end. So if they're showing first, second, third, they mustn't just put a 1, 2, 3. All right, so that's what we mean by ordinal numbers. So I included this number pattern sequence and then this ordering numbers worksheet. Okay, and then this one has more sort of specifically to do with ordinal numbers, so they can look at the row of children and then just answer the questions that follow. This last question is a bit of a brain teaser. I tell my class, normally they can get it, but I tell my class to take out their whiteboards and actually draw the order and the sequence on the whiteboard, and then if they draw the picture of it and label it, then they can quite easily answer the question, which is, where did Chloe end? All right, this question has nothing to do with these children here. All right, it's a different question. All right, so that is maths. This worksheet, it's not really a worksheet. This I will give when I see your child, because that goes into our flip file. Okay, something that they can just refer to. All right, on to English. For English today, we did page 25 of Smart Kids. Okay, and this just reinforces what we did this week on nouns. So it's a nice little reinforcement for the children. These are all sort of nouns that we find in the classroom. This bottom bit is actually about rhyming words. They have to match the rhyming words by colouring in them in the same colour. What I do point out for this is, if you have a look at these brown words, care, pair, wear, and clare, what I point out to the children is that even though they are rhyming words, they are spelled quite differently. We sometimes tend to think of rhyming words that they must have the exact same spelling or sound on the end, like, it is the same sound, but the spelling, like cat and mat. But I do point out that that's not always the case, and this is a good example of it. All right, so that's what we did for English. I will also post another comprehension for them to look at so they don't fall behind. When they get back to school, I will see how many comprehensions they've completed, and we can plot it off on their charts, which I will give them. For Afrikaans, we worked in Geniet because we work talking about me as our theme. I thought I'd link it up with Afrikaans. When we looked at my liggaam, we sounded out all these words. Then I said the word and they had to point on their body what part that word is, so I could see that they understood the meaning, and then they labeled it. This side, we got the meervoud, the plural form of the word, and I made them sound out these words. And we did it 2 or 3 times because they actually struggled with the pronunciation of the meervoud. So it's important that they do sound it out and get to grips with the Afrikaans language. Remember, Afrikaans is all about talking. All right, and then they look at this picture, and based on the picture, they can fill in the number. Hoeveel koppe? 1, 2, 3, 4. And then they write the number there. Okay, so that's Afrikaans. Yeah, so that is what we basically did today, and then we ended the day off with art, because art falls under life skills. And for art today, we did these beautiful self-portraits in pastel. We did it on these large pages, and I just gave them a few tips on drawing faces. So I showed them this, like when we draw a face, we just sort of divide it in halves like this, and sort of in the middle, that's where our eyes go, because sometimes children tend to put the eyes right at the top, which is, it's not a good reflection of how we should draw our own faces. So if you can just point all of those kind of things out to them, because these are things they should know about. They should leave a wide gap for the forehead. Okay, when we colour in the full thing, background, everything. I don't want white showing through, white of the page. All right, so all that kind of thing we cover. This is done by Clochi. It's a really nice picture of himself. All right, so that's how we ended off the day.